quickly destroy the Archaeotech engine.
That thing could be done hastily and prudently, Brother Barakir.
So answers an apothecary.
I'm in place.
I am in place.
The Xenos are uncounted.
In position.
Waypoint reached. All die.
Quickly destroy the Archaeotech engine.
Nothing could be done hastily and prudently, Brother Barricade.
So answers an apothecary. Warning!
I'm in place.
I am in place.
The Xenos are uncounted.
In position.
Waypoint reached. We all die.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Angry Badger Minis. As you can see, I've got a pile of them in front of me, sort of. So, first things first, this is 20 Chaos Space Marines that I got very cheap on eBay, and they're the new version. Why, you may ask, did I buy these when I was making, or have a mold to make my own? Well, I started really thinking about it, especially since these are, you know, devoted to Iron Warriors. And even though I had in my head that the face that was on the one pauldron with the horn coming out of the head could be, and I didn't tell you guys this, but I was thinking to myself, okay, these guys, you know, we'll just say that's, you know, Demon Primarch Perturabo, you know, a likeness of his face or something like that. It occurred to me that the Iron Warriors are really split. Like the Legion itself is split into lots of sub-factions. And I'm not saying that if Perturabo were to resurface that they wouldn't all come together, but I don't know, it just seems kind of unlikely. At least not in any, I don't know, it just didn't seem right. So I took a step back, plus there were some other things on there, and I was like, you know what, it's working out, but it's not working out. It just doesn't look the way that I want the army to look overall. I don't want a Slaanesh vibe in there. I want a clean, for as clean as, you know, some trench diggers can be. I want a clean aesthetic that does not, you know, is not taken away from with mutations or even the possibility of that. I know the direction I want to go with them, and then furthermore, I want to be able in the future to take some of the Burning of Prospero models and add them to this army. And so it really wouldn't, they really wouldn't match up. So I stopped that and I bought these. Well, in the process of waiting for them to get here, which they did today, over the last few days that I haven't been online, I've been downstairs in our basement where my game room is and stuff, really going to town with trying to find, and you can see the short video that I made, really going to town with trying to find a way to have adequate lighting for painting where I'm not struggling to see what's going on. And I know that sounds arbitrary because you've got light right here and you're like, well, dude, you can see, I can see. No, you really can't. And I've got 2010 vision. You cannot see the angles that you need the right way when you have, this is, in my opinion, this is the only light you have, and then your eyes start getting, you know, you're getting a backwash, you know, of what's going on. It starts blinding you in a way. Now some of you may be able to do it, and maybe I'm just old, but I've got great vision, and I'm telling you I can't do it. As a matter of fact, it was actually giving me a headache the more I worked on it. And then when I looked at the result, while the result wasn't bad, it wasn't what I was looking for on camera. It looked good, you know, in person, but it just was not translating on camera. So that told me I was not getting the smooth blends that I was trying to get, and I think I was relying way too heavily on washes to do what I wanted to do instead of just painting. I hadn't used washes in a long time, and of course I got kind of upset with the way the Nuln Oil apparently was packaged wrong, that it's a gloss instead of the matte. And so, you know, the more medium and, you know, matte medium and matte varnish you put on there, you're just adding layers that take away from detail. No matter how you thin them down, it builds up. So I stepped away from that. We're going with this, and we're also stepping away from the from the shades, or, you know, whatever, for the most part, when we get to that painting. So anyway, we have 20 more. This will make 30 total for this army, which is, I think, a pretty good army. So you'll have 30 Chaos Space Marines. I haven't actually looked at this. I see we have a missile launcher. We have a heavy bolter. I don't know. There's a melt-a-gun. Here's an axe. It's not a chain axe. We got a flamer. Okay, what I was looking for was to see if it might have came with a Reaper auto cannon, but I don't believe it does. I think that was just the one-off from the other squad that I have. Wait a minute. There's a plasma. So yeah, I guess not. There's 3 sprues, I guess, to each squad, and then 10 of these, so that's okay. But I wanted to show you guys what was going on there. And then we got this today in the mail. This is from Warhammer, or well, it's from what do you call them? Hatchet Partworks Ltd for the Imperium magazine. And I'm going to go ahead and open this up for you guys, because I've been doing that every time we got something. And this feels like it has a box in here, which I believe it might be Tau. I don't know. From the premium set, which I ordered as well. Like, I need more Tau, but that's just the way it went. I also figured out that the Imperium magazine set is now going to 90 issues, which begs the question to me, honestly, how I'm going to fit all that inside the binders they gave, since you only get 2. So I may need to forward a question to them and say, how are we supposed to fit it all in? Alright, Premium Kit 2. Alright, so Premium Kit 1 was the Chaos Marines. This one, I'm not exactly sure, I don't remember. Oh, my bad, I'm totally wrong. And another army that I don't need. No, I would never pass up Tyranids. But it's Tyranids. Alright, so let's see, what did we get? I wonder if, oh, Tau is next time. Premium 3 is Tau. Okay, and then that means Orcs are after that, along with their paints. Alright, we'll take a look at this Tyranids thing here in a second. Alright, so what do we got here? We've got, this almost looks like, dude, this looks like the set from Battle at McCrag to a point. It's just not, it's not push fit. Okay, no, maybe it's not. Alright, so what do we got? We got 4 Gene Stealers and 2 of these terrain pieces. I don't even know what the hell they are. I have a bunch of those things. Here's 4 more. There's 8, so then that makes 1, 2. Oh, there's 2 Rippers. Let's see. We've got, what is this? Looks like a Broodlord. Yep, Broodlord. I have a ton of Broodlords. We've got, so that's 4 Rippers now total. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 Rippers, which kind of makes sense because 3 per base if you did it that way. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like we have 7, 8. Let's see. Looks like we have 8 Termagants. So no Hormagaunts, just Termagants, and then of course we've got upgrades like, you know, the adrenal sacs and things like that. So you guys will find out soon enough that when we get to the Tyranids, how I really didn't need Tyranids, which is going to be an issue because if 10th edition comes out, and the rumor being Space Marines versus Tyranids, I'll have even more Tyranids and Space Marines. Of course, they'll be Primaris because, you know, I'll buy the edition as it stands. I mean, I'll tell you this: I'm not going to be buying 12 of them or 15 of them or whatever it was that I bought of Dark Vengeance. Those days are over, I think, unless Games Workshop really changes something in their business model. So there we have Imperium Premium Kit 2, and as you guys can see, this is how the premium kits come. It's not like, you know, in the actual box set. Alright, let's take a look at this. So, Tyranids premium issue. Tyranids bioforms, they're going to give you. Alright, so here we have Tyranids bioforms, Broodlord, Gene Stealers, Termagants. Yep. How to build them, how to paint them, their data sheets, and secure the Archaeotech mission. Okay. Let's take a little brief look through here. Now that, I gotta tell you, has gotta be the simplest paint job I have ever seen on a Tyranid. Honestly, even with the orange highlights, which are probably the part that I bet this was done with contrast paints in some regard. I don't know. And that's another thing I've noticed. So I was looking at, just out of curiosity, how other people were painting Iron Warriors, and everything is wrapped around contrast paints. It's not actually painting. And I'm not knocking anybody for that. It's just, I'm just curious. Hey, look at these Gene Stealers. Same paint job. I will say though, it makes them striking for sure, versus the dark purple and black that we're used to. Termagants look a little whiter for some reason, not sure why. Ripper, these are old pictures from back in the day, I can tell you that right now. Battle record, how to build. I don't even know what I'm going to do all these Brood Lords I have. Gene Steal. Wait a minute. Do all the Gene Stealers have... Ooh, I don't do that. I don't have any Gene Stealers that have scything talons. They all have their claws and the... gosh, what do you call it? Why can't I think of what it's called now? Oh my gosh, I really can't. Anyway, these claws and then their hand, it looks like hands. I don't have any with scything talons. I'm wondering if I should, and they want you to assemble these with the extended carapace as well. So maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll do that just for this group or something. I don't know. I know you get double attacks, I think, or something like that. Okay, what is this thing? Infestation node. So what does that do? I didn't even see that in here. What does an infestation node do? We may need to look that up. I have a ton of those things. See? Right there, shading. So they primed it white, looks like. Medium shade brush, apply an overall shade, Reikland flesh shade to the Brood Lord. So it wasn't contrast paints, but pretty simple. Dry brush them, and then armored carapace. Carapace dot highlight. How to paint base coats. That's weird. Rending claws. I knew it would come to me. Alright. This is a pretty good tutorial in my opinion for someone that's never done anything, or might be challenged or intimidated by painting the Tyranids. Although with this part it says you'll now need to highlight the exposed flesh beneath the carapace. For this task, use your small layer brush. Collect a small amount of paint on the brush and then use the side of the brush to carefully highlight each of the raised ridges within. Be careful not to catch the edges of the exoskeleton as you do so. I would not advise this technique at all. I would actually dry brush the shit out of that. I would get the paint on there, get as much paint off as I could, and then slowly build that up. You know, just like you're highlighting everything else. There's no reason whatsoever to risk getting paint inside the recesses there. But the overall, you know, the overall look between the pale skin and the black talons and horns and stuff look really good. But again, I've never used scything talons on a gene stealer before. I just think it looks weird. Doesn't look right. Now this is interesting. I don't know why they... I believe these are toxin sacs or something like that. Or maybe these are the adrenal glands. I don't know, but I thought this was on top, and they didn't really paint that at all. I think that would have kind of looked cool if they'd have added that green highlight to it. Gene stealers, termagants. Secure the Archaeotech. Hive Fleet Kraken. Okay, here we go. The 4 infestation nodes included with your gene stealer models serve as the objectives for this mission. Place them in the locations shown on the map to the right. Destroy infestation node. Action. 1 unit from the Adeptus Mechanicus army can start to perform this action at the start of its movement phase. If it is within 1 inch of an infestation node and no enemy units are within 1 inch of the infestation node. This action is successfully completed at the start of your command phase. If this action is successfully completed, that infestation node is destroyed and removed from the battlefield. Okay. Cool. Alright, there's that. I will be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Right back. And I'm back. Alright. So, what do we got next? We've got... Okay, of course it's out of order. 32, 33, 34, and 35. Okay, so we've got on 32... This looks like some kind of AdMech something. Don't know what it is exactly. Oh wait, let's just break it open, we'll find out, right? That would make sense. Try not to cut the damn thing. Okay. A Catapron, if I'm saying that right, Catapron Destroyer. Read about humanity's past, rules for Adeptus Mechanicus units. Never owned one of these. Looks kind of cool. I'm gonna go ahead and put that back in the plastic. Don't lose any pieces. And then we've got, what is this? Shade Cryptek Armor Shade Gloss and Shade Reichlin Flesh Shade. So there's the stuff we need if we wanted to paint the Tyranids in the style they want. Set this over here. Pull these out. Shade Cryptek Armor Shade Gloss. Shade Reichlin Flesh Shade. Okay, I'll set those over there for now. Throw this away. And I apologize, the plastic's loud. Kind of unavoidable. Looks like we have some more terrain. And this book, apparently covers the Imperial Fist chapter. Building and painting terrain, a terrain heavy mission. Okay. Some more of these walls and stuff that are... I'm going to tell you right now, I'll be making molds of this, along with the other ones. And here we have a Tech Priest Engine Seer. I have, for those of you that have been in the channel for a while, I have a little bit of an Adeptus Mechanicus army, not a huge one though. So what's coming from this will bolster those forces, but I'm not really looking to build them up like, you know, tournament play kind of thing. It's just more like have fun with like the whole scenario driven, you know, small unit exploratory type army. Alright. What am I doing there? Looks like we got something else going on here that was in with that one. This is the Horror of Chaos. I don't know, something just doesn't look right to me. How everything's mostly green, but we've got Zinch and Corn tied up with my boys Nurgle's army. Oh, take a look. Look who it is right here. Somebody asked me this in chat. Yes, right there. Horticus or Slimix, Horticulus, and Mulch. Right there in 40k. And the drones from Age of Sigmar are in there. Great Unclean one. I don't have that model. I've got a different one, Forge World model. Not sure what that is back there. It looks like a plague bearer, but the leg looks weird. We got a Beast of Nurgle. Bunch of Nurglings. Right on. What do we got here? The Black Crusades, Traitor Legions, Abaddon the Spoiler, Warp Storms, Khorne, Zinch, Nurgle, and Slaanesh. I do not like this model at all. I just don't. I don't even like the new Demonettes, really. Alright, we'll set that off to the side. Alright, so this is the first one we got. Catapron Destroyers, because I've never seen one of these before. Trax Siege Breakers. Plasma Culverin are exceptionally destructive weapons that are particularly effective when directed against mass ranks of infantry. Is that so? Against the Tyranids? Probably. Battle Servitor Catapron Destroyers are forged by combining a lobotomized, near-mindless human with robotic technology. Tracked mobility. The Catapron Destroyer's tracks allow it to pass swiftly over rough terrain and breach walls without slowing down. Yeah, I don't know about breaching, especially with that tiny little hand. Grab a small hand, chap. Cognis Flamer. The weapons have aggressive machine spirits, causing the fires they project to burn with flesh-searing fury. Heavy Grav Cannon and Phosphor Blaster. Did this thing come with weapon options? That would be cool. I'd magnetize the crap out of that. Looks like it. Well, let's see. Here's the Grav Cannon. Here's the Phosphor Blaster. So I guess it did. And here is the Plasma Culverin. And there's something else here. This some kind of looks like it may be like a Volkite weapon. I don't know. They're not showing me that though. And I don't know what this is here. And that looks like a Volkite weapon of some kind or something. I don't know. We'll have to check it out. Alright, what else we got in here? The Ancient and the Arcane, Servitors, Electro Priests, Legacy of Strife, how to build them. Well, it looks right here. Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like they painted to me in the build here before they got to painting. And I think that they were hinting at painting and sub-assembly as well. Yeah, I'll definitely be magnetizing this stuff, these weapons. I don't know how many of these I'm supposed to get, if it's just one or a couple or what. Tech Priest Dominus with the Catapron Destroyer. They have 3 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 7, save of 3+, toughness 5, strength 5, ballistic skill 4+, weapon skill 4+, and movement of 6 inches. So everything that we read before is a lie. So this guy is slow compared to being what they said, and he sucks at shooting for a siege person against hordes of mass infantry. That's the way I take it. I mean, how would you miss all, a mass of infantry? All right. Catapron plasma culverins make a random number of attacks every time they fire. What? Come on. These weapons also have the blast special ability. The minimum number of attacks made by a blast weapon depends on the number of models in the target unit. See the examples to the right. 1 to 5 models, the Adeptus Mechanicus player rolls d6 to determine the number of attacks. Okay, so you could have 6, basically 6 attacks, 6 shots, I guess. So that might justify the 4+, maybe. 6 to 10 models, roll a d6 to determine the number of attacks. Even if the result is a 1 or 2, the minimum number of attacks is always 3. Okay. 11 or plus models, and of course they're using Necrons in this regard. Do not roll to determine the number of attacks. Instead, make the maximum number of attacks this weapon allows, which is 6. Okay. Heavy grav cannon. Heavy grav cannons function by crushing their targets under their own weight. When used to target models with a save characteristic of 3+ or better, the heavy grav cannon deals 2 damage instead of 1. Coming in a later issue, you'll receive 2 more Catapron destroyers and late. Well, there's my answer, so we'll have 3. One of which will be equipped with a heavy grav cannon. But I thought that's what we had over here. Save 4+ or worse equals 1 damage. 3 or better equals 2 damage. Okay. So I guess we're gonna have 3 of those. And Relentless Assault Scout Mission. And then we got the paints, or the shades. We have the terrain. So in this one, shading Necrons and Space Marines. Read about the brutal orcs. Mission featuring the flayed ones. This is the cover of, oh gosh, what's it called? Because I have the box. It's something Shadow War. I want to say it's Armageddon Shadow War, but it's, I can't remember. I like that color, or that cover. Oh my gosh, look at this thing. What the, I guess that's like a baby squig or something. That's crazy. That's freaking ugly. Oh, that brings me to something completely unrelated. How many people out there do you hear say the words terrifying, horrifying, so forth and so on in just normal conversation about anything they dislike, instead of in the context that it should be used? It drives me nuts, but that's me. I know that it's, pop culture to say those things or what have you. Awakened Strategy Generators, Catan, Cetan, however you guys want to say it, Tesseract Vaults. We have one of those. I've got to magnetize that so it can be the Tesseract Vault and the gosh, what is it called? I don't know. I'm getting old. Catan Shards of the Deceiver. I have a Nightbringer model, 2 of them. I can't stand the Deceiver model. I think it's the dumbest looking. It's the head that gets me, really. Well, that and this big stupid hand. That's this head. This hand is as big as his head. I don't mind the Void Dragon Shard. I actually kind of like it. What I don't like, in a way, is and I know why they had to do it. I don't really like all this lightning stuff. It's just too thick. Of course, how do you make it thinner? And then the way the digital coming together of his legs or whatever, and his chest area and stuff like that, it's either the way that they've painted it or the way it's modeled. I can't really tell, to be honest with you. It just, I don't know, it just leaves something to be desired. And it's not as, this is not scary, okay? This wasn't scary either. That's scary. Nightbringer is scary. And the Nightbringer takes me back to how the Necrons used to be scary. Now they're a joke. As far as lore goes, or, you know. I mean, look at this guy, dude. Does that look scary to you? Seriously? No. Looks like a wannabe, you know, freaking Egyptian or something, pharaoh from the old days. And yeah, I know they basically resemble Tomb Kings or whatever from fantasy. Oh my gosh! All right, check out this chick right here. That's definitely a chick. Look at the arms on that thing. Orc hunter. She's either. I'm thinking she might be Katachan, maybe. I don't know. That's crazy. I don't remember all the regiments that were on Armageddon, but it was talking about that with her picture next to it. Alright, they're basically showing you how to shade, I guess. Still looks really clean. You got the data sheets for those guys, a tutorial, I guess, to show you how to use the flayed ones. Moving over terrain. Oh, this is the rules. They started giving basically the rules of the rule book for 9th edition in this stuff, and it's like we're about to have 10th edition. You know what I mean? I mean, I was okay with, you know, hey, here's a basic way to play, but now you know they're getting even advanced rules and stuff like that. But whatever. Just standard how it goes. Let's release it at the very end. I wish this would have been taken care of a little bit better in the package. I wish they would package things better. Legio Cybernetica in the Imperial Fists. How to build the Ruined Factorum. Ooh, I don't like that. I don't like this right here. These models are designed to clip together, so you shouldn't need to apply much glue in order to secure them. I don't like that at all. You'd have to make sure you don't paint that at all, or it won't go together. And some doors and stuff. They don't open though. Doesn't look like it's just a wall. Of course, this is all, you know, pre the new Space Hulk stuff. They want me to use my lead belcher on this that they gave me? Bro, you didn't even give me that much. No way. Primaris Captain. Maximizing auras. Okay, I get that. Transports. Okay, whoa, let's back up here. Some models have the transport keyword. The following rules describe how units can embark on and disembark from such models and how they are used to move. Okay, so here's my thing and why I stopped on this one when it comes to transports. So I think you guys might remember me stating this in the past of games that I played, you know, like a long time ago, where I never thought that it was, and it wasn't mandatory, but I never thought that it was a good idea to require your opponent to tell you which transport what units were in. And of course the argument is, oh well, you know, I mean that transport, you know, could have had this in there, but because you lost this transport, you decided to put them in that one, you know, mid-game. That's always the argument. And I stated in my, you know, in my video, that's where I think it should be on the the player to annotate that down or something like that, so that it keeps them honest in a way. But ultimately, your opponent would never know what you had in your Rhino or your Razorback or your Land Raider or whatever the hell is coming across the desert dunes. It's not like they would look at it and go, "Oh, look, there's 10 freaking Khorne Berserkers in that Rhino, and there's only 10 cultists in that Rhino." They wouldn't know that. You know what I mean? And the reason I say that they wouldn't know is from all of the knowledge and the novels and everything else that we've read, it's clear, very clear, that for as high speed and technologically advanced as the Imperium is, apparently they suck at technology, because we can't even freaking get Space Marines that are supposed to be super accurate in one book to be accurate all around. And this brings me to another off-topic point. I've been listening to my favorite book that I've read multiple times on Audible, and no, I'm not sponsored by them or nothing, but it's on there, so if you want to look for it, cool. Brothers of the Snake by Dan Abnett, about the Iron Snake Space Marines. I love that book. I never get enough of it. And it occurred to me, the argument about Warhammer 40,000 with all of the close combat that's out there, oh, this makes no sense, so forth and so on. I mean, why would they do that? It's just over the top, blah, blah, blah. I think there's a more practical reasoning for this. And if you agree, let me know, put it in the comments, chat, whatever. Here's what I think. If we take a look at the fiction alone of how much ammo these guys, are able to take with them, Space Marines, Guard, it doesn't matter. All right, it's not a real lot of ammo. I mean, there's a bit, and it corresponds back to the game. If you play the game in such a way that you're only playing up to a maximum of 6 turns, even if you were to put, and I'm assuming that they still have these. I have some from the older models. Even if you were to put a magazine pouch or two on your model, quite technically, if you think about how many rounds would be in that magazine, that's just enough to get you through 6 turns. Okay, so there's that part. So now you in a way are almost forced to have to go to close combat. The second note is the way we understand the conflict on the broader scale with all of these freaking armies battling. I mean, just in the artwork depicted alone, it's this haphazard thousands upon thousands of troops on either side that are just, having at each other. I mean, they're literally mass blobs is what they are, because, the Imperium anyway, because that's what they're fighting against. Mass blobs of Tyranids, mass blobs of Chaos Demons, Legionnaires, and Cultists. And for those factions that do not or cannot be supported in the manner that the Imperium is as far as arms and armament, they don't have a choice but to develop their tactics to be close combat. Okay, in many ways. So that forces the Imperium and the Tau and whoever else to not have a choice. And that's why they end up. It's not that it's just, and I'm not a Games Workshop fanboy, regardless of the thousands of models I have. I despise the company as it is. I just enjoy the hobby, I enjoy the models, and I enjoy the lore, even though it's been screwed up by people like Matt Ward and other people. And it's going to get further screwed up as we, continue with this woke nonsense that's out there. I think that's what's really going on here, is that the battle situations present themselves in such a way that there is no other alternative, because of the amount of, bodies, if you will, that are fighting, en masse. Now, we get caught up, I think, when we're reading novels and reading stories and stuff about our specific characters or protagonists that we love, and how, okay, he shot 3 cultists or whatever, and then he, barreled into, you know, this other one across the room and threw his shoulder into his, you know, his head and exploded it by the sheer impact, and then ripped through another one with a chainsword. If we take a step back and think about the melee that's going on, the one thing that's always left out is we don't always have, I say always left out, the one thing that's most of the time left out is we don't really have a it's not the picture has not been painted for us exactly how far away the threat lies from, you know, the protagonist in action. Okay, so for all we know, your Space Marine, you know, and I got one right here, this little Primaris guy. For all you know, he's sitting right here, and he sees that he's surrounded by 10, and he's able to cap off 2 right here, shoulder, you know, whatever, shoulder block or shoulder peg this dude over here, step back, you know, onto this guy's leg, whatever, you know, and break it, or what. I mean, I'm just throwing things out there, but you really don't always have a sense of how far away these threats are. And it's not too dissimilar for any of them. Space Marine, Imperial Guard, you know, Chaos Marines, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's not too dissimilar from anything that we've ever, you know, trained. I mean, basically, the open battlefield in the 41st millennium is I mean, if you're talking vast plains and things like that outside of hive cities and things of that nature, because of the amount of bodies and, you know, the amount of conflict, just this onrush of whatever, orcs being mindless, Tyranids not caring, whatever, there's just too much going on that it turns even those barren wastelands into a close quarters battle environment. I mean, there's no way around it. And then when you fall back into your cities and your hablocks or whatever, now you've basically doubled that whole, you know, issue in fighting. Now, what do I know about this? For those of you that are new to the channel, I am a retired United States Marine. Been in special operations almost 30 years. That's my bread and butter. Did I fight on a line like they do in the 41st millennium? No, of course not. And thankfully we weren't up against orcs or Tyranids. Might make me sound like a coward, but I know what our limitations are right now, at least. And until I can fire, you know, a bolt gun of my own and be superhuman to where I can take on an orc twice my size and, you know, 5 or 6 times my weight, you know, I'm fine with that, with whatever label you want to give me. But, you know, operated in small teams a lot, and the biggest thing that you had to worry about was, in fact, excuse me, being overwhelmed. And so you had to, you know, hand to hand. It wasn't a far-reaching concept. It wasn't a, you know, okay, well, we're going to snipe everybody from here 1,000 yards away or more, you know, and we'll kill them all before they get there. That's never a given. That's why you would set up multiple tier perimeters of, you know, claymores, explosives, etc., just in case they made it in. And then after they made it through those 3 tiers, because those, you know, those countermeasures are expended, well, guess what? Now you're in it, you know. So that's kind of where that came from, and something I've been thinking about for some time since the last video. I forget exactly how I brought it up, but I thought you guys might be interested, you know, my point of view on that. And if you're not, you know, my apologies. And again, though, I am curious of, you know, what you guys think. What do we got here? Behind enemy lines. Okay, what is that? Okay, yeah, that's an actual model. Sabotage mission. Get help or advice from our friendly Warhammer store staff. Yeah, well, I don't have a Warhammer store anywhere near me. And from what I've been hearing as of late, it's not, it's like Games Workshop managers aren't really all that great right now for some reason. They just, I guess they're just fed up or something. Probably to do with their quarterly sales that they're not making or something like that. I have no idea. Tech Priest Engine Seer War Gear. Styges 8. Styges? I think it's Styges 8. The ever-staring Cyclops. Okay, so this is a guy. This is... Oh no, the Magi of Styges 8 are not well trusted by their peers from other Forge worlds. Their cohorts have a dark reputation for dubious behavior relating to the pursuit and acquisition of Xenos technologies, and their activities have even drawn the attention of the Inquisition. I like that. I like that. I like Mechanicum. I like Mechanicum being the bad guys, to be honest with you. I really do. Age of Darkness. How to build a Tech Priest engine seer. Well, I already have quite a few. I don't know. What do I got? 3 of those? So now we got 4, and I don't know if we're getting any more. Wait a minute. Does it tell you that every time? I don't think so. Looks like we're washing again, doing the washes. Doctrina Imperatives. Okay, this looks like something in the akin to possibly stratagems, I think. Yeah, that's got to be what that is. Well, that's interesting because they haven't really covered that. Oh wait, here we go. How to use Doctrina Imperatives. It's like every time I say they haven't done something, then I turn the page and there it is. Each Doctrina Imperative modifies affected units characters. Wait, let me read that again. Each Doctrina Imperative modifies affected units characteristics. I think we're missing a word there, like N. As they provide positive and negative effects, it is important to use them at the correct time so that the optimization effects outweigh the depreciation penalties. Okay, a Canaptic Spider versus Skitari. That doesn't look like... those guys look like they're about to get eaten. I'm just saying. This guy against a Necron Lord? I don't know about that one, man. Don't know. Got more of the real rules of the game. Raise the Monolith. Now this is interesting. The Adeptus Mechanicus must plunder the wreckage before the Necrons secure their stricken vessel. Ha! Dude, if you guys go back, I don't know how long ago it was, when I did my one battle report, when I was experimenting, I didn't say Monolith, but I did say like Necron stuff or whatever, or that's what they're doing. That's basically this mission. How about that? That's pretty cool. Alright, so we get a Necron Tomb Blade next. They're giving me these 4 at a time, and there's supposed to be 90 issues now. Wow. So we get a Necron Tomb Blade next, and we get new battlefield terrain, these pipes right here. The Tau Empire. So they're getting ready for the Tau, which will be the next next premium set. And I don't know what we get in 38 and 39. So cool. So that's what we've got for that. And Tyranids. So I will put all that stuff away later. Not going to do it now because it's kind of a chore, to be honest with you. All right. So, what else has been going on besides waiting for models to come in and things like that? So I am trying to determine how I want to build this game table. And if you guys will go check out my Instagram, Angry Badger Minis, I believe it's angry_badger_minis, you will see the last picture that I posted. Actually, I don't even know why I'm telling you to do that when I can look it up myself. Hold on a second here. And I'll put it up on the screen if I can do it. Now, I don't have... It's just the one thing that I put yesterday. Yeah, here we go. Alright, let's see here. One of these days I'm gonna get with the program guys and, like, you know. There it is. Let me do some adjustment here for you. At least we had a couple people liked it, so that's cool. So these are some Salamander Space Marines that I've talked about in the past that I had painted way back in 2003. I sat down and painted the whole army. And they have won countless battles. I've never changed their composition except for adding a drop pod for my wife, which isn't completed. It's got green on one side and the rest is completely black, and it's kind of abstract and it looks cool. One day I'll finish it. But this entire army, all these Space Marines, everything you see here, from the panel lining, all of it, the entire thing is dry brushed. None of this is an actual brush stroke other than dry brush. From the black to the greens, all of it, because that was the rage back then. And you know, I mean, even if you take a look at the I don't know if you guys can see my cursor on the screen. Maybe, yeah, okay, there you go. Even this right here, these little lines, I kid you not, they may look like they're painted onto you. No, it just took forever to do that, to dry brush a line. And to see if I could pull it off. What was I gonna say? If you look at this one, I think this one I must have missed. Yeah, these two, I guess I must have missed putting excuse me, putting I didn't have washes back then, so I just took brown paint and really watered it down and then just, you know, put it over top. So I must have forgot to do that with these two. I don't know, it's been forever and ago. And then of course these are actual decals. These are not hand painted, but and I didn't know anything about micro seal and all that kind of stuff back then. But what I was bringing up here is, in reorganizing my game room last night over the last few days, and cleaning it up and dusting and, you know, finding out what I actually have, I came across this, you know, this Table War Frontline Gaming fat mat that I bought who knows when. I looked it up online. They still make it. It's 6x4. I think it goes for $80 now. It's like the Games Workshop, you know, mice or mouse pad Battlefield in a way, except it's not as thick and it rolls. And man, this thing came in a freaking case. Like a legit zip up carry case thing. It was freaking cool. I just thought it was all rolled up and stuffed in a box, but it wasn't. And I mean, it rolled out perfect. So what I'm trying to do is, I'm gonna buy some other ones, I think, just because I'm looking at the lack of space I've got left in this room, considering the other projects that I have coming, you know, with building terrain and things like that. And what I'm trying to decide is, I've got a 4x8 foot sheet of plywood that is, it's like your finished, you know, like cabinetry, like real nice cabinetry plywood that I'm going to use for the game table. I'm trying to figure out how I would like to put an edge on that all the way around, so your dice don't come off the table or models don't fall off, that kind of thing. But also to where you can rest your arms on the table if you need to. And the table is going to be, I'm trying to remember what you call it. It's basically, if you take a look at my hands, like if this is the flat part of the table, and then right on my knuckles is a hinge, the table can do this. So it'll be a 4x4, or it can come up and then it can be 4x8, on, you know, and it'll do that on each side. That's the easiest method we have with what we have to work with, and it will keep it. The table will basically be, or it is right now, sitting there. It's about, I want to say sternum high, but I don't think it's quite that tall. It might be. I know you can still reach across it, and I'm not, you know, 6 foot or anything, so, well, I mean, you can reach pretty far, I'll put it that way. But I also want to leave room for people to be able to put their armies on the table, because I mean, an 4 foot by 8 foot table, that's a game, man. That's not a 6-turn game, unless you've got some really fast units. I mean, in both armies, or you play. Well, no, you still need fast units. I was gonna say you could play, you know, line up on the 8 foot sections, but still, you start spreading out. I mean, that can be a game, and I'm not a 6 turn kind of guy anyway. I like to play basically annihilation, or until the objective is, you know, completed or something like that. But we'll see. I mean, you know, it depends on who plays with me and things like that. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out how I would like to do that, because it's 3/4 inch plywood, or it might be 1/2 inch. I think it's 3/4 inch. But either way, what I'm worried about is screwing into the side of it and splitting the wood. I don't want to do that. I'm not a carpenter, but what I'm thinking has to happen, if we take a look at my mat over here, let me just move this, shrink this a little bit here, if it'll work with me. If we look at my mat here, and let's just say, actually, let's look at this part. Let's just say that this is the table itself, right? And I want to put the 2x4s or whatever on the side. I'm thinking that I've got to put a 2x4 underneath on the edge, so that this can bolt in or screw into. That's going to make this thing pretty heavy and costly. But I'm feeling like I still need those 2x4s anyway, because I don't want the wood to warp for any reason or whatever. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do some research, whatever. It's all set up right now. I mean, I could play a game on it if I wanted to. It's just not screwed or bolted into the table that it sits on top of, that we really didn't know what to do with, and so now I'm using it as a platform for the whole gaming table. I'm going to do some research and see what I can do, but the goal is to have a recessed table so I can take mats like this and just throw them in there, and we don't have to worry about it shifting and, you know, all this kind of stuff. Not that this really moves. I mean, you got to like really have two hands on it and tug on it, which is pretty awesome. And then, oh, and I mean, take a look at the vibrancy. I mean, this is not an exaggerated photo. Take a look at the vibrancy of this thing, man. They did a hell of a job. So, I mean, like, I started looking through all their stuff, man, and oh my gosh, I mean, all I could think of was, oh my god, man, I'm going to spend so much money. And I don't know what possessed me to buy this one. I really don't. And what's interesting is, I don't think that I did. I'm not sure, because on the box, it had a green, like, field. The picture was a green field, but inside it wasn't. It was this. So maybe it was a mix-up. I'm not sure, but I'm not super displeased. It's just that I know me and my OCD and blah blah blah. In order to play on this map, I'd have to put some rules in place so that you weren't, like, you know, stepping in lava and maybe you were jumping over it, or, you know, whatever, you know, or it's a hellscape, or I don't know. I like it though, and I'm not positive, but I almost feel like I watched a 40K GT tournament, and they might have had this particular mat on the ground, but I mean on the table, but I don't remember exactly. I think it was actually the one where they caught somebody cheating or something like that on camera from above. Which brings me to my next thing. I am trying to figure out how I can make a thing. I don't know when we'll get to this, but I would like to make a scaffold up there that can have a camera that points directly down at the table, and of course, you know, records or what have you, and then, you know, but I'm not sure that that's really the way I want to go. I've got to get back into learning again how to make videos again, and I think I'm going to do that by playing some test games and stuff, and, you know, we'll just go from there and see how it works out. So that's basically where we're at on that stuff. But the game room is getting squared away. I'm not positive that I'll be moving my entire operation down there, because it's underneath the master bedroom, and while it would be quieter as far as the kids are concerned, I do not want to keep my wife awake. So until I master how to how to get this whole headphone situation going. You know, I mean, I can talk like we're talking right now, and I can keep it low. I can bring the mic in a little bit better, whatever. That kind of limits my gaming, you know, video gaming to up here, and then even then I've got to keep it kind of quiet because my voice and everything kind of reverberates down the hall, I guess, you know, to the kids. So there's that. And then of course that puts me closer to the kennel spaces, and if a dog wants to bark, then you guys are gonna hear that, and I just don't want you guys having non-enjoyable or unenjoyable experience. So, all right. So what's next on the project? Those 20 Chaos Space Marines are gonna get put together, and then we've got. I already showed you guys this. We got the Warp Smith to put together. We've got 10 Chaos Terminators put together. We've got 1 Chaos Land Raider. We've got 2 Chaos Rhinos, all for the Iron Warriors. So that's what's left to put together for them, and then we will move on to Thousand Suns. That being said, this will take a little bit longer because I'm trying to get things done around the house that I have to, and work has picked up a little bit as well, and we started school again. I may or may not be on tomorrow night because of school. We'll see. I got one thing I gotta do, gotta read, and then I gotta do kind of a small paper in my first week. So I don't know about that. We'll see. But I'm looking forward to getting things put together and moving on from Chaos, and the next thing will be Eldar and Dark Eldar. Something that I did not tell you guys. Okay, and I was going to take pictures of stuff, and I thought about putting it on Instagram and things, but I was like, you know, who's really going to care? But maybe you will. So that's why I'm bringing it up. So the out of print 3rd edition Dark Eldar models. I have, and I couldn't even give you a count. But I sat basically in the basement while I was trying to brainstorm what to do. I sat for 2.5 hours clipping all those tiny little spikes and stuff that they had that you would glue their shoulders and everything like that off of the sprues that the models used to be on. I'm not kidding when I tell you I never stopped. And in 2.5 to 3 hours I finally finished. And wouldn't you know it, they barely I don't even think they, well, yeah, okay, they made, if you take a bottom of one of the trays, they filled up the bottom of the layer, and that's about it. Maybe enough to cover a Space Marine's boots if he was, you know, like the top of his foot if he was standing in it. The model. How crazy is that? That's how many there are and how thin they were and everything else. But it helped me reflect on the Dark Eldar more. I'm still probably not going to buy any of their actual models, their vehicles. I don't like it. I just don't. I mean, I've got this little nagging thing that's telling me it'll be okay, go ahead and buy it, whatever. But I've got Eldar grav tanks for a reason. Matter of fact, they're right here. Hold on. Let me grab these. Because I've got all these Dark Eldar here. I'm just waiting to put them together. Okay. That's the other thing. I'm trying to get all my stuff out of the upstairs here and back where it belongs. So we've got new Dark Eldar models. You guys know what those look like. I'm just going to set them off to the side. And then when I go to put them together, you'll see them in there. We've got the very old Incubi models. A lot of these have to be fixed and put together. I don't even remember how many of these guys we got. Let's see. Let's just find out here real quick. Let me turn this camera down a little bit more for you guys. We got whatever this dude's name was, Drazar or something like that. Forget his name. Old model, but I like it. Oh yeah, we got this old model of Lilith Haruspex, which I can't believe I remember her name. Let's see. I know Incubi were my thing. And before I got the actual models, I actually turned a bunch of Eldar Guardians into Incubi, and I used toothpicks and glued on the Dark Eldar spikes and things like that to make the staff that they have there, whatever that means. I'm just gonna give you guys this army's not put together completely at all. I'm just gonna give you guys a just an idea. This box right here is nothing but Dark Eldar bits. If that tells you anything, between bodies and legs and arms and blah blah blah. Yeah, look at that. There's some chaos spikes in here for some reason. Don't know why. Here's some more bits. Oh, sorry, it's more body parts and things. Oh, is that a freaking spore mine in there? What the hell? There's a couple of them. What in the hell? I'm gonna have to go through this bag. Let's see here. Something new for me. I had this. I bought this model. I bought it because I thought it was cool, except for the Citadel fine cast thing. Didn't know about that. And I didn't know anything about this model as far as Dark Eldar is concerned. But what's cool is I have 4 of these from the Blackstone Fortress box set, so he can go with them. Let me close this box up before I send parts everywhere. Let's see here. Yeah, more chaos bits for some reason. Maybe I had planned to put them on the thing. Oh, I didn't realize that I had... Oh, wait, no. I had made these into wave serpents. Okay, so... Now this, you have to forgive me, this is a long time ago, and these never got painted other than primed. And I showed you guys... I guess it was a while ago. I showed you in the pictures and from the photo album how I had tried to make a thing for these guys to ride on, and that's basically what I'm gonna do with these. I've made up my mind. I'm gonna just basically try to work on. Let me see here. Try to take some of these guys and mold their legs like they're on, and use chains or something like that, like they're holding on as the whole thing's moving. This strikes more Eldar to me than those stupid pirate ship looking things to me. I know they're supposed to be space pirates or whatever, but I like this better. Now, what is going to go up here? Hopefully nothing, and there will be a small platform or something like that on here. Just won't have a stinking sail. I mean, that just, I don't know, I don't like that. Well, we got 2 of those. We got a few bikes. We do have, the upper weapons systems for these. So if I change my mind, I haven't lost anything. They can go to my Eldar army, and I don't know. Maybe you guys can help me understand and make a decision on that one. But yeah, we've got a ton of out of print freaking Dark Eldar that are put together in here. And then we've got even more. And it'll be a very troop heavy army, because in my mind that's what they should be. Everything I read, they're troop heavy. Listening to the Iron Snakes, when Damocles squad with Priad meet Petrock for the first time. The Dark Eldar have taken over a city, and then they're they're being routed by the Iron Snakes chapter master and stuff. So, I mean, chapter master, or was it just captain? I think it was a chapter master. So I don't know. I don't really know. I don't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, there is a ton of Dark Eldar models in there, and every one of these guys, every one of them, including these guys, they're all going to get stripped, and they're going to get repainted. And I already have a color scheme in mind, and you guys might like this. So that color scheme is going to be it's going to be like a bi-color. So it'll be like solid black and whatever on one side, and then I'm going to get this, I don't know what you call it. I just know what it does. It's a color that changes color when you look at it, if that makes sense. But it's got like a black undertone. That's what I'm going to use on the other side, or in places. We'll put it that way. And so that's the overall plan, overarching plan for this army. So, like I said, we've got, you know, the actual or the new Dark Eldar models that we have to put in there as well. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably try to find a way to. I may not even put them in the Dark Eldar army. I might make them the what are they called? Is it the Ynnari? Or no? What's the one where the Dark Eldar and the Eldar are mixed now? I can't remember. I think it's Ynnari or something like that. I think I may just save it for them because I've got a couple of the oh gosh, what do you call it? Whatever the swirling, you know, big spiritual whatever thing, you know, that exists. I have 2 of those models, and what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of those, and I'm either going to convert it into something like a demon prince or something like a oh gosh, what is it? We just looked at them, the void dragon, into a different type of void dragon. I think that's what I'm going to do with that. So put this away. Yeah, we have a ton of Dark Eldar. Very, very troop heavy army. Probably a couple hundred models, I would imagine. Oop. I want to look at this real quick. I don't know if you guys care to, but I want to see what the hell's in here before I put it away. Alright, here's a spore mine. Oh, it's just the head. Well, that one's not. Let's see. There's another one. I know what this is from. This is from when I made my custom Sisters of Battle / Sisters of Silence army. I keep hitting my microphone. I brought it in closer so you guys could hear me better, so I could talk a little lower, but I don't know how well that's working. Let's see here. We've got an Eldar piece in here. That needs to be separated. And that might be what all this is this all came from my conversion stuff of building that army, because there's a lot of pieces cut the same way they would have been, but that's okay. Well, I'll sort it out later. I don't feel like doing it right now. And we got a lot of metal out of print Eldar models that we got to put together. Regular Eldar or Eldari, whatever the hell they're called now. We've got 4 Wraith Knights, and I wish there was a way to incorporate one of those into the Dark Eldar army, but I don't know how, other than doing the Ynnari thing. But I'm not even sure you can do that. Put these up here for now so they don't get mixed up. Okay, and we'll save these because we're going to need this stuff for Iron Warriors undoubtedly. I did not realize that was in there. Yep, save that for them. Where did I put them? Oh, there they are. Okay. So, yeah. So that's where we're at. We still have to put together a Chaos Knight. It's been sitting over here drying, if you will, for a week or more, because I've kind of have been moving things around. I think that Chaos Knight is going to team up with my Iron Warriors, honestly. I just got to take a look at how much and if it has any mutations. It shouldn't, but that's what makes sense to me. But then again, we're using Hell Brutes too, so we've got 4 Hell Brutes in that army. So maybe it really doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't think it matters. Cool. Alright guys, well I just wanted to do, a video because I missed you. Missed doing this. And there won't be any gaming tonight. I gotta get some rest, get ready for school and stuff like that. So appreciate you. And for you new subscribers that I saw, thank you so much. YouTube's not showing me who you are again, even though I looked at that one spot, so I apologize. There's nothing I can do about it. But anyway, thank you guys so much. And if you like what you see, like what you hear, want to follow us, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we will see you next time. Take care.